have an urgent message for the person who feels called to watch this video right now. I'm about to go to bed and I'm not gonna turn the lights on, so that's why it's a little bit dark up in here. But what I'm really getting for you is you're not here to sacrifice who you are to deal with unappreciative people. Okay, you're not here to lose that God essence, that God glow, and maybe it's that fiery passion, that joy within you, so that someone can be happy and they feel entitled to your glow, and they feel entitled to your time and your resources and what you do and how you look and how you should be. I'm connecting with someone who are dealing with some kind of chaotic feedback as they are shifting into their highest and truest self. I'm hearing that you have gone through a very powerful transformation as of late, and things have been actually shifting very drastically and powerfully, and you're seeing a lot of optimism and positive changes from it, which is all amazing. But at the same time, you're beginning to see certain people act up. Okay, let me know if that's you. You'll begin to see certain people act up in your life or in your, I'm seeing like another layer of your life. So I guess, you know, some of you guys have like your close friends, and some of you guys have your, or you call it the acquaintance. So I'm connecting with someone who has a, like, you actually categorize people like that. So what that tells me is that you keep your friends like you keep your friends close and your enemy closer. No, not that one. But you really appreciate the people, the friendships and the connections that are close to you, and you keep them close to your heart. And then the other ones are just the other ones. Okay, that's what I'm connecting with, and that's what I'm hearing, because you actually have a big heart and you are actually very sensitive and empathic, and you know, because of that, you cannot let like any crazy mofo in, right? Because you tend to give and overgive, and then you end up drained and really tired. So the urgent message I'm hearing for you whenever you're listening to this is you're noticing certain weird shakeups in your connections and the people around you, people in your world. Like you're feeling like you're becoming the best version of you, and all of a sudden you feel like, why are people acting so crazy? You know, they don't appreciate you, they're being a little bit entitled, they feel like you should serve them and you should please them and you should look and dress and be how, you know, they want. Like in a way they can be like, oh, what if black doesn't look good on you? Or they make certain remarks like, oh, you know, your lipstick looks weird, you know, on you, or something like that. But you like it, you think it looks fine, but you're just wondering, like, instead of saying, hey, you know, I love the way you look in this dress or whatever, it's like the way that someone is complimenting you, the way that someone is showing up in your life, it's more of a negative tone than it's a positive tone, you know? I hope you know what I'm saying, because that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that people are like not really complimenting you in a way that a compliment should land, you know? Like they can be complimenting you, but it feels very shady, you know? It feels very like backhanded. It feels very like it just doesn't feel good. It feels icky. And what I'm getting here from your higher self, that's what I'm channeling through your higher self, your God consciousness, what you know to be true, deeply in your heart, is you're going through a massive shakeup and change in your world. And that's why there's certain energies are going to feel very unstable, and they're going to reveal themselves to you. And that's when you have to take a look and be like, what are these outdated patterns showing me? Am I still entertaining it, or am I going to walk away from it? And this is the whole thing when it comes to healing and upgrading your life and shifting timeline, is that it's not always up and up and up and better and yay. It's actually not like that. From my experience and from how I coach my clients and walk people through this spiritual awakening and ascension process, is when you're ready to level up, actually the blast from the past is going to come through. Okay, meaning old toxic patterns, type of, bad friends, bad behaviors, or people who question your boundaries, or, not very genuine in the way that they come at you. That they're disrespecting you, feeling entitled to your time, your energy, who you are, telling you what to do and what you can and cannot do, and thinking that all of a sudden they are like some, authority that you have to obey. Just like, excuse me, I don't even know you, right, sir, right, ma'am? And all of these things is because these are the patterns that you've once tolerated. These are the patterns that you've once tolerated within yourself and within your world. And because right now you are shifting timeline, you're about to jump into a really, 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 really good timeline where there's harmonious relationship. There is beauty and genuine connections and positivity and abundance galore. These individuals are coming up. It's like a purge. It's like the last purge. Okay, they're coming up to see what your reactions are going to be and how are you going to respond to it this time. Are you going to get back into the people pleasing mode? Are you going to ignore and say nothing and bite your tongue because you want to be spiritual and everything? Or you're going to check them, right? And I was discussing this during my last inner circle call, Seen, Heard, and Felt. We meet every single week. If you want to get the Zoom link and access to all the trainings and stuff, link is down below under Seen, Heard, and Felt Inner Circle. Okay, and we were talking about this oh my god, freaking glow up that one of my clients in there, one of the members had. Like, she literally looked different, and her posture and her energy and her boundary literally different from the week before when we had the coaching, the hot seat coaching. And she was updating me, and she was saying that when she began to put down her boundaries, when she began to say no to the people that she's never thought that she'd say no to, she's like, oh my god, what's going on? But actually she began to feel this immense power within her, and she began to notice a shift in her energy. And this is actually also one of the people in her life began to fall out, kind of disappear, and kind of causing a little bit of an issue. And all of this shakeup is when you have shifted in your energy, when you have shifted in your timeline, when you have shifted in your consciousness, you're going to begin to see. And when, that person's falling out, and when we were working through it, was what I told her is that, you can feel like, oh my gosh, I really need this person to complete this task, and I just need to, like, what the F is this person? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? And you're just in that spiritual waiting, Zen namaste mode, or you can really let out your sacred rage. Because what I really believe is a lot of us, we suppress this sacred rage and fire within us. We bite our tongue our entire life. We never stood up for ourselves. We never say, excuse me, what you did is not okay. We never said, I don't deserve to be treated like that. You cannot treat me like that. Okay? Like, we don't know how to stand up for ourselves, especially if, you're an empath, which I'm connecting with someone who's very empathic, and something like that can happen to you, where like something kind of annoying that happens, and you're like trying to be like, oh, maybe I shouldn't react, maybe I shouldn't respond, maybe I should just be Zen and namaste. And the thing is, you have to read into the situation. Some situations, it will require to do that because that's your lesson, but you have to have the spiritual discernment to know that maybe your higher self wants you to learn to stand up for yourself, to speak up for yourself, to unblock your throat chakra right now. And that's the lesson, and not the holding back your tongue and not react. Okay? You have to know when it's called for what. And sometimes, this whole spiritual bypassing thing of like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna be Zen and I'm just gonna, whatever. Like, maybe that's the lesson, okay? Maybe you're someone who's very reactive. Maybe that's your lesson. But you have to be honest with yourself that maybe That's not what it is right now. So what I'm hearing very faintly for you, is very weird. I'm feeling very faintly for you is that you have to trust that who you are is enough. Who you are is more than enough. Who you are is a powerhouse. And maybe you never saw yourself that way before. And maybe you've been trampled on, for most of your life. And you don't know how to stand up for yourself. You don't know how to say no. You're afraid to look like the bad guy. But babe, you have to lean into your, people call this your villain era. You have to lean into allowing that darker energy, okay, within you to express, to be out. Because a lot of us who try to be love and light, we actually suppress a lot of darkness and shadows within ourselves. And energies cannot be created or destroyed, can only be transferred. And if you don't allow these to come out in a healthy way by addressing with someone on a situation that they make you feel uncomfortable, or they're rude, or they're disrespectful, then you're just holding it in, and you just have this undercurrent of rage and annoyance, and then it just stays there with you. You feel uncomfortable. You're not light and free, and you're carrying so much tension. So I feel like you're meant to let it out. You're meant to check somebody, okay, that need be, right? Being spiritual doesn't mean that you don't have a backbone. Bone. Oh my God, backbone, right? It's late here. Yeah, and I don't believe that, if you're going through this, I don't believe that anyone has the right to tell you who you should be, what you should do with your life. They don't know you better than you, right? Anyone can offer beautiful, suggestions and offerings when you ask, but no one should shove it down your throat. And I don't think we're here to tolerate anyone who doesn't appreciate us. Because if they're not appreciating you, they're depleting you. Okay, remember that. If they're not appreciating you, they are depleting you. They're gonna drain the F out of your life force. Okay, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a connection, whether it's anything in any, like job, any situation, if something or someone doesn't really appreciate you, they drain you. Okay, everything needs to feel like equal. Everything needs to feel like in an equilibrium. And if your connection doesn't feel that way, you don't need to entertain that. Okay, you don't need to entertain that. I know for me, I came a long way because I had no boundaries whatsoever, and I had to learn it the hard way. And that's why I share these videos for you. I show up here daily so that you don't have to go through what I have to go through. And also channeling through the messages that your higher self knows, because your higher self always knows what's best for you, what you truly deserve. But sometimes, you are like, I'm afraid to upset this random person who totally disrespect me and my energy. You shouldn't be afraid of doing that because they're disrespecting you, okay? So it doesn't make sense that you're afraid to upset them. They're upsetting you right now. So you have to just stop having a tolerance for that. And really be honest with yourself and like, why do you deserve that? Right? Why do you deserve to be mistreated? Why do you deserve to have friends who give you backhanded compliments? Why do you deserve relationships that are hot and cold? Why do you deserve connections that just like ghost you and like disappear out of the blue, right? You don't deserve that. You deserve clear communication. You deserve respect. You deserve appreciation. You deserve support. And until you give all of that to yourself, and until you feel truly worthy of it, because you attract what you are, and when you are that, all these energies that you do in your daily practices, you're not going to have the tolerance for people coming at you incorrect. Okay, you're beautiful, you're amazing. I see you. If you're still at this point, and if you are still here, give me a like, a happy like, Let me know in the comments what comes through for you. I always love reading through your comments. It means so much to me, guys, to have you a part of my family, my community. I have a free community called Awaken, and we're at the top 10 spiritual category in school. So, you know, we're like top 1%, top 10. It was like all these things. It's like, it's pretty hot and popping right now. So if you want to join the crew down below, it's for free. Subscribe to the channel because I post here every day. This is Tina Wong. I love you so much. You deserve the freaking world, okay? Don't deal with any crazy mofos that don't deserve your time and your energy and your love. There's so many people who are here waiting for you, but you can only meet them in frequency of healed, okay? Of deservingness. Okay, love you.